Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 7, 2025. The official opening ceremony for the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARACOM got underway on Sunday at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James. Our reporter Jabertha Atkinson was on location and filed a report.
The conference is being held under the theme People, Partnerships and Prosperity, and it is being hosted by Jamaica as the country through Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness assumed the chairmanship of CARACOM on July 1. During the opening ceremony, Dr. Holness emphasized that tackling organized crime would be a top priority during his tenure as CARACOM chair.
We must dismantle the influence of gangs in our communities, disrupt their financing, and cut off access to weapons. It will not be solved by short-term measures. It will require significant investment. There needs to be joint, coordinated action from the regional level.
In addition to crime, Dr. Holness also underscored Jamaica's commitment to Haiti, which continues to face a severe humanitarian crisis.
We cannot be true to our principles in CARICOM if we do not redouble our efforts in the international community to garner support for the mission in Haiti. We cannot leave our brothers and sisters in Haiti at the mercy of gangs.
For JIS News, I am Jabertha Atkinson.
The new chairman of CARACOM is also urging member states of the Caribbean community to stand unified in their commitment to achieving people-centered development and strategic partnerships. As developing countries with varying challenges, Dr. Holness says we can no longer rely on the expectation that exceptions will be made from global partners and that cases will be treated with deference and favor.
But I think that as we enter upon the new order which seems to be emerging in the world, that we must be strategic. We must strengthen our institutions. We must take responsibility for our own destiny, because that is the only way we're going to only really get it if we really want it.
Referencing core areas for strengthening, Dr. Holness asserts that building the capacity of human development must be at the center of integration. Other areas include access to decent work, opportunities for youth, climate protection, and food security. In relation to partnership, Dr. Holness is insisting that CARACOM taps into underexplored territories.
Global progress is built on networks of trust. We need stronger ties within CARICOM and with strategic global partners in Africa, North and South America, Europe, Asia, the Pacific, and the Middle East. The resources in CARICOM are sufficient for us to provide for the needs of our people. Guyana with energy and land, Suriname with energy and land, Trinidad, Jamaica with incredible human resources. What has stopped us for these many years?
The chair of CARACOM emphasizes further that the global uncertainty in trade is ushering in an opportunity for the community to get it right. Dr. Holness says actions to be taken must be inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. Also coming out of the CARACOM conference, Justice Winston Anderson has officially been sworn in as the new president of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. The ceremony took place at the Joel Grand Montego Bay Resort and Spa in St. James. Justice Anderson becomes the fourth president of the CCJ, succeeding Justice Adrian Saunders. During the ceremony, CARACOM's chair, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, lauded Justice Anderson's distinguished legal career and his contributions to Caribbean jurisprudence.
You bring to this presidency a wealth of experience, including being the founding chairman of the court's educational arm, now known as the CCJ Academy for Law. Over the years, you have contributed significantly to the development of both the original and appellate jurisdictions, authoring key judgments that have strengthened the rule of law across the region. Your scholarly and judicial work continues to shape regional jurisprudence and inspire the next generation of Caribbean legal minds.
In his address, Justice Anderson emphasized the importance of investing in the region's youth and legal education.
My experience as a law lecturer taught me that graduates of the Faculty of Law and of any one of our 3 law schools are amongst the brightest legal minds anywhere in the world. Their presence in our community affirms that our most brilliant young citizens need not look beyond our shores for opportunity to excel in nation building or in living a good life. There is a Caribbean dream if we dare to conceive it and to pursue it.
Approximately 48 countries are participating in the CARACOM conference from regions such as the Caribbean, Latin America, and Europe. The conference ends on Tuesday. In the meantime, Interpol is looking to establish greater collaboration with CARACOM in the fight against transnational organized crime. The General Secretary of Interpol says partnerships are being forged with agencies and institutions in the region to strengthen border security and disrupt criminal networks. He was speaking during a briefing with the chair of CARACOM, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, and his delegation on Sunday. His Excellency says through an agreement signed recently with the IDB, security forces and resources will be pooled together to form a new modus operandi in the form of a joint task force.
We operate in Buenos Aires and in El Salvador with 2 regional bureaus that we have, and also in Barbados through our liaison officer to CARICOM Impacts. So we will leverage from our presence in the region to support the countries from the Caribbean and beyond in the fight against organized crime.
Prime Minister Holness underscored CARICOM's commitment to partnering in this area, particularly in regard to institutional building.
We welcome you and we look forward to the conversations and dialogue which will take place in the days to come.
In other news, government has delivered on its promise to begin work on the Western Resilience Water Project. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness broke ground on Friday for the launch and commencement of Phase 1 of the highly anticipated project, which has a total cost of $425 million or 67.5 billion Jamaican dollars. Phase 1 is valued at over $176 million or approximately 28 billion Jamaican dollars. It will involve the upgrading of transmission mains and pipeline improvement works aimed at addressing water supply deficiencies in the northwestern part of the island. The region is currently supplied by 5 primary water treatment plants: Roaring River, Logwood, Great River, Martha Brae and Bogue, and is supported by a limited network of smaller facilities. These systems are interconnected by major transmission mains, but they suffer from aging infrastructure and reduced capacity. Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, says the project will address these issues, as well as that of leaking pipes along the corridor.
We'll no longer be pumping water into the ground from leaking pipes going into Montego Bay. There will be less pressure on Great River. Now, there'll be less pressure on Great River to pump easterly. But we also acknowledge that the pipelines going into the west end of Negril, all the way from Great River, are also old. We will also be changing the transmission mains fully and totally from Lucy to the west end of Negril. There will be repairs and some replacements from the Great River treatment plant itself into Lucy.
The project will be done in 4 phases, and Phase 2 will see significant increases in capacity and improvements in the quality of water production with the construction of 2 new water treatment plants. And finally, the Ministry of Agriculture is ramping up support for young small ruminant farmers through the provision of goat houses. This is part of efforts to reduce Jamaica's reliance on imported mutton. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green says the initiative, set to launch later this year, will see youth farmers receiving goats and proper housing infrastructure to support more sustainable and profitable livestock rearing.
We want to see more of our small ruminant farmers move from just having their goats out grazing and to having them in houses where they bring the food to them so they can get quicker growth, they can get better returns on their investment, and ultimately we can deal with food security.
Minister Green was addressing the recent staging of the Jamaica Agricultural Society JIS show in Westmoreland. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.